Alright, today I am following in the footsteps of Troubadour, Metabrxken, and Jomber by commentating on this gameplay from Broken Bench. Now the whole premise behind this series is that Bench sends us a run and then we have to react to it live. Now it's been a while since I've done any kind of live reactions, and all of my other commentaries are recorded after the fact, so I already know what's going to happen in the run. So I think probably a large part of this is going to have to be dealt with in the edit, but I have come up with a scoring system in order to determine how good I think this run is. Now I think that probably is something unique for the SAP community. I don't think I've ever seen any videos about SAP where someone watches gameplay and then rates it at the end. So I think this is a really good concept from Bench, something quite unique. And so I'm going to try my best to make a good job of this. Now, first off, I will say that Bench is going to lose points here for having the standard artwork for the duck. The duck has just been sold. However, yeah, that's a big no-no in my book. So we're going to have to dock some points there. But classic custom setup, we've got double swan and betta fish. Since I made the top 10s video, I've realized just how frequently I buy betta fish and pillet, and as soon as I take it out of my pack, it is a bit of a problem. Now that was a mistake. There was definitely a misplay there because the betta fish was pilled onto the wrong swan. So some stats were lost, but probably not going to make a big difference. I can't imagine Bench is going to send me a video where it's a loss. Maybe it will be, I don't know. The only thing I knew in advance about this run was that the Venus flytrap is involved somehow. So the obvious thing to guess there would be that it's going to be a token achievement, as Bench picks up the deer here, so maybe bus. But I guess you don't really need Venus flytrap for the bus. So which ones would you need it for? You would need it for the fire pup. What's the other one? The one that I spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to get. The giant eyes dog. I don't know. I feel like going for giant eyes dog would be pretty tough in the current state of customs. Although actually, I don't know if this is in wild or standard customs. Maybe I should have asked Bench that beforehand. To be honest, actually, I would really like it if the developers added some kind of visual indication on screen so you can just tell which version of customs people are playing. Just a little icon in the corner would be good enough. But 4 hearts here on turn 7 with a bunch of level ups ready to go. And yep, I constantly miss Bass when I have an almost level 3 cell pet, but Bench doesn't make that mistake here. There is a love potion in the pack there as well. So that would be interesting to see something involving love potion. Not so many people playing it now that it's been moved up to a higher tier. Okay, another win. So closing in on turn 9. And I don't think, I guess flytrap becomes unlocked next turn. Sometimes you do see people going for achievements in customs, and then you can deliberately go and change your pack to have anglerfish and flytrap in order to try and steal the achievement from someone else. I have done that a few times recently. Unfortunately, none of them have produced any actual winning runs, but it's fun to try. Double eagle in shop seems like it would be an obvious buy here. Yep, definitely take that. There's the level 3 swan and oyster. Now, one of the things about doing this as a live commentary, because this is gameplay from the replay system, you don't actually really get a proper sense of at which points the player is thinking and pausing. So you don't really know if certain units, if they're hovering over them and thinking about it for a while. So this could be a run that was specifically engineered to go a particular way, but it could also be a run where there was no plan whatsoever and it just happened randomly. Now, even though Bench is on 4 hearts there, The opponent only had 1 heart. I do often see that quite a bit these days. It used to be very rare that you would see that, but... Oh, okay. Pilling Eagle, level 2 Dragon, and Dual Caterpillar on turn 10. Now, I'm not 100% sure how the Dual Caterpillar works, because I don't think I've used it yet, but I assume it needs trumpets, and there aren't any trumpets on the team. I guess you could get one of the trumpet pets from the Orca, but I think the odds of that are pretty poor. So yeah, now it's going to be a loss. But instant level 2 Dragon, you've got to think that's going to be a guaranteed win, no matter what. We just need to work out where the Flytrap comes in. I guess you could use Flytrap to farm tier 1s off an opposing team, but it's very expensive to do that. Okay. Okay, Flytrap Bakunawa. So this is one of the new pets that it applies an ailment which reduces the attack on the opponent. I think it only affects the attack damage. It doesn't actually affect snipes. But you can see there, it. I'm not sure it actually made any difference. Maybe the Swan would have knocked out the Sabertooth there anyway. So now Bench is starting to lose hearts at quite a rate. Okay, now it's level 2. Don't want the Orca. Yeah, I got to admit I'm not seeing the vision at this point. Yeah, what would Orca and Bakunawa have in common? I quite like the look of this opposing team. They're going for the Anubis Mana team with Kali Greyhound. And then the Bakunawa gets reduced down to 1 HP. Although actually it's still going to be a draw. I suppose at this point, 4 trophies this late in the game, you're very likely to start facing draw teams. So this is going to be another Turtle Pill, I think. And then probably the buy-sell on the Chihuahua. Yep. Okay, we're just going to buy-sell as many tier 1s as possible. I definitely feel like I'm missing something here. Okay, you can use the Cardinal to farm melons. I feel like Cardinal is one of those units that is ultra strong, and you don't really see it that often. Certainly, I don't use it very much. Now, actually here you definitely do see the Bakunawa's ability coming into effect there, because I think the Swan would have been knocked out in 1 hit if the Sleepy ailment hadn't been applied to that unit. Okay. Yeah, definitely Stinky Sock for stat reduction. Pretty standard customs play. I'm freezing up the tier 1s again. I'm still not quite understanding what's about to happen. Maybe the Swan's going to be transformed into something else. I think that's something I've been seeing a lot more often in Arena, is that if I spectate someone who has a strange looking team, it almost always is that they had a Swan or a Weasel, and then they compatoed it into something else. Like, sometimes you see people with a 50-50 elephant in the back, and you just think, what was going on here? But, of course, it was something else on the previous turn. It does actually go to show sometimes how strong you could really make a pack if you, if all you cared about was winning and you weren't particularly going for anything specific. You could take all the bad units out of your pack to guarantee that you don't get anything bad on a transformation. And oftentimes in the late game, I'll come across teams that would be so much stronger if they had just transformed 1 or 2 units. But yeah, they didn't for whatever reason. Okay, maybe this is going to be a Bakunawa achievement run. Cockatoo, buy-sell on turn 16, and the Spino. We've kind of got a bit of a hybrid team going here. We've got all the various archetypes represented apart from sniping. I guess you could potentially get a feint sniper from the Orca. But we've got ailments, we've got wide scaling, we've got gold from the Swan, summons from the Orca and the Spino. Yeah, okay. I assume this is just going to end up being a Bakunawa achievement run. Maybe the final opponent is going to be someone we recognize. Ooh, kind of a scary looking team here, but this is the strength of Bakunawa, where the Sleepy gets applied to the units that have the highest attack. So those two, I think that was 2 units that had Melon, and both of them got wiped. It's just ultra powerful to not only remove the equipment, but completely nullify the 50 attack. Probably better to take the gingerbread there on the Orca instead of rolling down and taking the pair. Of course, bench might have been looking for something here. Now look at this, double behemoth with over 60. Okay, now I get it. Now I get it. That is the perfect matchup for a Bakunawa team. You'll love to see the double behemoth stack getting demolished by the ailments. Okay, now we'll go over and do the rating. Alright, I spent way too much time adding all those numerical score overlays, but unfortunately since I recorded that part of the video, I've been informed that numerical grades are meaningless. So what we're going to have to do is make the scoring system at the end here a bit more free form. So first category is playstyle. Now I feel like I have to be strict here, so I'm going to give bench an ostrich for playstyle. The Venus flytrap action doesn't excuse the swan plus dragon. Although on second review it does look like this might have been played in wild mode, so I do appreciate bench making sure that I won't face that team. Next category is intangibles. This is something that sports commentators always refer to, especially when a quote-unquote good player consistently makes bad decisions. So I think I'm going to be a bit more positive here, and I'm going to give bench a tree for intangibles. Next up, probably the most important category, we have spelling. Now I did notice that Broken Bench has an X instead of an O in the channel name. However, on balance, I still think that merits a crocodile for spelling. So adding those all up, overall, that gives us a split grade of anglerfish / standard art polar bear. Bench, thanks for sending me this run. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Do me a favor and like this video, subscribe to Bench, and maybe comment below if you don't agree with any of these ratings.